I think we can all agree that Cedar City sits among the most beautiful landscapes in the American West, but we are also facing one of the most serious challenges for desert communities. Of course, that is water. For many, many years, the aquifer beneath the Cedar Valley has been declining faster than it has been being recharged. At the same time, Iron County continues to grow, bringing more families, more businesses, and of course, increased demand for water. But in March 2026, a major milestone was reached that will reshape the region's water future for, no exaggeration, generations. The Bureau of Land Management issued a record of decision approving the Basin 14 Pine Valley Water Supply Project. So today, we're going to break down what that means, why it matters, and how it could secure water for Cedar City and the surrounding areas for a long time into the future. To understand why this project matters, we first need to understand the problem. For many years, the Cedar Valley aquifer has been significantly overdrawn. According to water management officials, withdrawals exceed natural recharge by more than 7,000 acre-feet of water per year. Let's put that number into perspective. An acre-foot of water is enough to supply about 2 to 3 households for an entire year, depending on usage. So when the aquifer is overdrawn by 7,000 acre-feet annually, it means groundwater levels gradually decline year after year. Because of this, the state of Utah implemented a groundwater management plan, which requires pumping reductions over time in order to eventually bring the aquifer back into balance. But here's another factor that complicates things. You may have noticed that Iron County is growing. As the population increases, water demand naturally increases as well. This creates a tricky situation. Less pumping from the aquifer, but more demand for water. That's where the Pine Valley Water Supply Project comes in. Also known as Basin 14, the project allows Cedar Valley Water Conservancy, formerly known as the Central Iron County Water Conservancy District, to construct a new well field and pipeline system in Pine Valley. This system will transport groundwater from Pine Valley into Cedar Valley. When fully operational, the project will deliver up to 15,000 acre-feet of water per year. Importantly, this is not new water being created. These are legally acquired, in-court adjudicated water rights that already exist. What this project does is it makes it possible to bring those rights into actual use. Paul Monroe, general manager of the Water Conservancy District, was quoted this way: "This project is absolutely essential to Cedar Valley's long-term water sustainability. It allows us to diversify water supply and combine it with conservation projects like our reuse programs," unquote. By diversifying water sources, Cedar Valley can rely less on its already stressed aquifer. So clearly, water is the foundation of this community. Without reliable water supply, the city would really struggle to support housing, agriculture, and our great economic growth that's happening. The Pine Valley Project helps stabilize Cedar Valley's water system by providing an additional supply that will support municipal water systems, agriculture operations, and future population growth and long-term economic stability. Now, of course, large water projects like this often raise concerns about environmental impacts. For this reason, the Pine Valley Project underwent extensive federal environmental review. As part of the approval, the Bureau of Land Management requires one of the most comprehensive groundwater monitoring programs in Utah's history. The project must implement protections for wildlife, habitat, vegetation, cultural resources, migratory birds, the greater sage grouse, and everyone's favorite rodent, the Utah prairie dog. Monitoring will also focus on springs and groundwater-dependent ecosystems throughout Pine Valley, the Wawa Valley, and nearby basins. The goal is to ensure that the pumping does not cause harmful impacts to sensitive environments, and construction practices must also minimize land disturbances and protect the water quality. Another major concern with the groundwater project is how it might affect existing water users. To address this, the project includes an interface, drawdown, monitoring, and mitigation program. This program requires continuous monitoring of the groundwater levels in startup wells and distant monitoring wells as well. If the project causes more than 15 feet of groundwater drawdown in a senior water right holder's well. The Water Conservancy must step in. They are required to compensate or mitigate any proven impacts at their own expense. The project must also comply with a 2014 order issued by the Utah Division of Water Rights. That order requires several ongoing safeguards. Every production well must be metered, meaning water withdrawals are precisely measured. All pumping data will be reported monthly and annually. And the project must remain within the safe yield of the hydrologic system, meaning pumping levels must adapt to as conditions change. Meanwhile, the Bureau of Land Management will oversee environmental compliance through construction and operation. The Pine Valley project is not the only effort underway to secure Cedar Valley's water future. It works alongside several other initiatives, including local water conservation, which is a big deal, aquifer recharge projects, and the Cedar City reuse project, which is currently under construction. Together, these strategies aim to create a diversified and sustainable water system for the region. Instead of relying on one single source, Cedar Valley will increasingly depend on multiple water solutions. So with federal approval now complete, the project moves into its next phase. The Water Conservancy will begin detailed engineering and design to get additional permitting and construction of the wells, pipeline, power infrastructure as well. The first step will be installing monitoring wells and initial production wells. These early wells will allow engineers to carefully measure how the aquifer responds before the full well field is developed. This staged approach allows water managers to adjust operations as needed. Water challenges in southern Utah and the region, and really the whole American West, are complex. Every solution requires careful planning, science, and oversight. The approval of the Basin 14 Pine Valley Water Supply Project represents a major step towards securing Cedar Valley's water future. Supporters say this provides the supply needed to stabilize the aquifer and sustain the region's growth at the same time. Environmental protections and monitoring programs are implemented and designed to ensure responsible water management. As the project moves forward, its success depends on careful implementation, transparency, and continued stewardship of this region's most vital resource, water. If you would like more updates on Cedar City, Iron County development, local infrastructure projects, water, you let me know what is important to you, and I will bring you future videos. See you soon.